Hello, hello, hello. Good afternoon to all of you. I hope this video finds you all happy, healthy, and whole. I hope you're having a good week. Welcome to Opal Rose Oracle. If you're new, my name is Adeshpurankaur, and today is our reading for the collective. This will be for our current now through the weekend. The moon is currently in Scorpio. It's going to be entering in Sagittarius tomorrow. And on Sunday, it's going to transit into Capricorn. So by Monday, we'll be in a moon in Capricorn when I do my next reading. But I hope you're all doing well. I honestly just got up from, well, not just got up, maybe an hour ago. Yeah, an hour ago, I laid down for a post-Sadhana nap, probably around 9. Slept till 1. Had some incredible dreams. I don't know if it's common with all of you, but my nap dreams are always far more interesting and insightful than like my normal evening sleep dreams. Some sage to clear the space. And some Palo Santo too. I love the smell of both of them. And I love how they cleanse the air of not just negativity, but bacteria. Some for me, some for the cards. I presaged the cards. Some Palo Santo for all of you. All right. That being said, I'm going to call in our guides and our angels. Angels, archangels, guardian angels, ancestors and spirit guides, gods and goddesses, beings of the highest vibration of love, light, healing, truth, and destiny. Be with us and give us clear, concise messages for the collective. Please, for this next chunk of time, the next few days. Messages that will uplift us and help us maintain our soul's path and evolution forward, aiding in the collective in this great, great time of transition and deep healing. Beautiful. Beautiful, beautiful, beautiful. I have my Mythic Fairy Tarot. I use 2 tarot decks for those who are new to the channel. I have my Mystic Fairy Tarot and then the Goddess Tarot, and they feed each other and confirm messages. And then I go into my Oracle cards. I have Animal Spirit Oracle, the Follow Your Light Oracle, Unicorn Oracle deck, and the Kuan Yin Oracle deck. And those tend to give very specific ways for us to uplift ourselves and make little micro shifts and kind of give us a framework of the subtle energies that we're all working with. So I'm going to set Goddess deck aside. We're going to start with the fairies. Alright. So the first 2 cards The first three cards to pop up are Ace of Pentacles, this beautiful earth energy. It can be a gift, it can be a new job. It is earth element, so it is tangible. You can see it in the 3D reality. It's a wonderful positive card, and oh wow, how interesting. I was like, it's two. No, it's three. Actually, there's four cards here. It's like the multiplication of cards. We have the Ten of Swords, the end of a burdensome cycle. We have the Sun, the happiest card in the deck, but it also speaks to clarity. And Ace of Swords, a new thought, a new idea, or this also can be a new clarity or truth coming in. New truth. So with the Ace of Pentacles followed by the Ten of Swords, the Sun, and the Ace of Swords, I'm getting a message of, a new opportunity or a gift that is going to lead to an ending of a very burdensome cycle, something that was very cutting. Maybe it had a lot of emotional pain tied to it, but it's followed by the Sun and the Ace of Swords. So I'm getting that there's illumination. Especially with the Sun and the Ace of Swords, that there's illumination, there's a clarity to what was heavy, to what needed to come to an end. Ace of Pentacles, Ten of Swords, the Sun. Any other messages for the collective? Eight of Pentacles. Eight of Pentacles is working hard on your craft. So whether you're working away at your art or at your business, the Eight of Pentacles is a very diligently, something you're working very diligently on, diligently to perfect it in its own way. But a lot of hard work had gone into what we're working on. And this could be clarity that we need to work hard, because it's following the Ace of Swords. It's like we're getting illuminations of what ended. We're getting understanding and clarity about that. And I'm getting there's like a relief in leaving it behind and letting it go. And that the clarity that's coming in gives us insight on what we want to work diligently on, put our energy and effort into moving forward. We have the Four of Wands that wanted to pop up. This is a twin flame soulmate connection, but it's also the coming together for victory, coming together in passion, so that you can build something that is stable and has a foundation, usually with a partner. Now there's 3 here. And I feel like the maiden fairy on the ground is giving the 2 boys like a gift. Maybe it's a gift that will strengthen their partnership on whatever artistic or environmental or passion project that they're working on. And some cards fell out. We have the Hierophant in reverse. Followed by the 5 of Cups in reverse. Followed by Judgment. Are you supposed to be reverse or upright? Reverse. Okay. So with the Hierophant, the 5 of Cups in reverse, and Judgment, I'm getting the energy that there was a commitment that maybe is ending, so that we can come out of the not the 9 of Cups, so that, probably because we want the 9 of Cups, we want that emotional fulfillment, but so that we can come out of this 5 of Cups energy, this energy of disappointment, of things that are not working out. You know, maybe there was a love relationship or a work relationship in one of your lives that you put a lot of effort into. Maybe it just wasn't as emotionally fulfilling as we needed it to be. Because the Judgment card is all about making that judgment call, you know, for ourselves. And I'm getting we already made it. You know, if we've done the reflection, if we've gone within, and you know, maybe this 5 of Cups has everything to do with this 10 of Swords, burdensome cycle that's ending. Sounding the horn on what no longer works. Can we get some clarity for the Hierophant in reverse? No, I said Nine of Cups earlier. Look what popped out. The Nine of Cups. So the Hierophant in the reverse, ending a commitment, ending a relationship because we want to go after our emotional fulfillment. Something that intuitively feels good and feels like it's going to carry us forward. Can we get clarity on the Five of Cups in reverse? Oh wow, okay. Two cards popped out. We have the Tower and the Ace of Wands. So we have three aces on the board. Ace of Pentacles, the Ace of Earth, the Ace of Swords, the Ace of Air, and now we have the Ace of Fire, but it came out with the Tower. So Five of Cups in reverse, there may have been a tower moment in your life, like a sudden realization, a sudden shift, a sudden change. Something that wasn't built on a stable foundation crumbling down. And the Ace of Wands, the promise of a new beginning, like something happy. There's some readers like to call the Ace of Wands like a happy tower, like getting a present in the mail. You weren't expecting a present in the mail. In fact, you weren't probably expecting anything. But you get that knock on the door and maybe it's Amazon Prime and there's a present. That would be a happy tower. It's like you're not expecting it. So the Five of Cups is in reverse because what was emotionally fulfilling, it had to end. Or emotionally unfulfilling, it had to end. We couldn't bring that forward with us in this new cycle. We had to leave, the disappointing energy behind us. And there's this promise of all this new energy, a new passionate project. For some of you, it could be a new romance. But I don't really, if I get a romance vibe, I'll call it out, but that's not really my focus or my intention. But a new passion project, like a new joyful beginning springing from what's ending. Double. Let's get some clarity on the Judgment card. Well, that's too many cards. Okay. If you're meant to come out, please come out. Please come out concisely. Clarity for the Judgment card. Okay. And of course, what popped out? The Lovers and the Four of Swords. So, a lot of air energy. The Lovers is the card of Gemini. The Lovers also speaks to a decision. And the Four of Swords So energy of like being in your head and taking a step back. Like they look like they're resting. So maybe you had to take a step back from a relationship, some distance, so that you could make a decision and use sound judgment. And I get that, because sometimes when you're in a relationship and we're really close, you can't see the forest from the trees. There's a muddledness that tends to arise where it's like when we're on our own and we're sovereign individuals, it's like we know what we like, we have our own routines, we have our own passion projects, we have our own friend circles, and sometimes when we get into a relationship, there's this melding where we're not quite sure where one person ends and the other begins. And that can be really beautiful when you're married. You know, it's a really beautiful energy if you're married because you want that enmeshment, you want that union. But, if you're just dating, you don't want to be playing house. Because then you start getting like, oh wait, like where's the boundaries, And sounds like we've had to make a decision, kind of go within and take a step back on what hasn't been bringing us, what relationships haven't been bringing the Nine of Cups, so that we can let it go. The Ten of Swords, complete the heavy cycles, and really embrace the Tower, embrace the new beginning, the new passionate start. It's springtime, emotional fulfillment is there. It's our birthright to be happy. Any other messages for the collective in regards to this spread, in the decision, in any other messages from the fairies in regards to this spread? Yes. Three of Pentacles. And Three of Pentacles is doing the work. Planting our pentacles, working in the garden, building that solid foundation of spring. And getting, the clarity of the seeds we want to plant, whether it's in the ground in our creative lives or within relationship. And just keep working and keep planting our seeds. Any other messages to partner with the Three of Pentacles? That didn't technically come out. It just didn't want to go back in the deck. So if it pops back out again, I'll take it. Oh, this one would pop out. Okay. Knight of Wands, Aries, Leo, Sagittarius. This is also just the energy of moving forward. This is the Knight of Wands. It's fire, so it's very excited to get working, to get like maybe you really want to plant. Like I'm going to use an example. Maybe you really want to plant a garden. Maybe you really want to start this business. So there's a laying of a solid foundation and just this excitement to move forward into what's going to yield us emotional fulfillment. And I love that energy. I love that, our 110, which is speaking to what's ended in our lives and the decisions we've had to make about, what we're working diligently on and the partnerships and relationships that we're working with and working in. The universe has been giving us clarity, and there's this promise of a gift that's going to, end a cycle and bring illumination to our lives, bring joy to our lives, a clarity that brings a lightness, a joy, and a clarity on where we want to put our energy, the partnerships we want to make. These are beautiful, beautiful energies to come in. I'm going to move over to the Goddess Tarot and start pulling confirmative energies for the messages we have so far. Goddesses, any messages for the collective in regards? Yes, okay. We have a few cards pop up. We have the Prince of Swords, sword by his side, hand over his heart, insight, new thought, new idea that's going to lead to action. Because I always think of the princes and the princesses of each suit, of being like the masculine and energy, the masculine and feminine energies of the message. So with the Prince of Swords, it is that Page of Swords energy, like a new idea, new insight, a new thought. But it's going to lead to action, because masculine energy is very projective, while feminine energy is the receptive energy. Five of Swords. Maybe there's been some conflict, maybe there's been some fighting, maybe there's been a battle. There's two swords on the ground. She has two swords at her side and one sword that she's holding. I feel like the two swords at her side are the ones that she's claimed in battle. And the one that she has in her hand is the one, that's her truth that she used to win the battle. And perhaps the battle was over an oppressive energy, something that was holding you down or holding you back. Lowering your vibration, lowering your sense of worth, your sense of capability. Because to oppress, it's like you feel, when you're in a situation where you're being oppressed, you feel small, you feel, it's like the power is ripped from your hands, or it's perceived that way. If you're in an oppressive relationship, there's always like that dominating energy, and then there's the person underneath who feels like they just have to kind of shrink to survive. So maybe it was a battle to really release ourselves from anything that was overshadowing us, starving our hearts and souls of its natural wildness. And the wildness I speak to is like our innate nature. If you've read Clarissa Pinkola Estes's book, Women Who Runs with the Wolves, she speaks of the wildish nature and that oppression is a sure way, whether it's self-induced oppression or oppression from the environment, is a way to kill off the wildish nature within ourselves, the aspect of ourselves that is, free and innovative and creative and shameless and excited to live and hopeful and divinely guided. Oppression kind of puts it in a vice or a chokehold and really sucks the life out of the person learning it. And sometimes when you're dealing with this energy, whether it's within or without, sometimes it can be quite a battle to release ourselves from it. That's so funny. I find it interesting that the Princess of Swords is capping this. So we have the Prince of Swords, the Five of Swords, oppression, and the Princess of Swords. So we have the masculine and feminine energy of gaining insight, whether a new bit of information came in, maybe you heard something, maybe you learned something. That's going to help you move forward. She's got her golden crown on the head, and the swords is all about the mind. She has her truth with her. And I feel like the information that came in through the golden crown, whether it was in meditation or prayer, however you connect with the divine. You get some clarity on basic, of course. We have judgment coming out again, so double confirmation, and I just saw 4 3s across the board, 33, 33. So using our decision-making power, making a decision, getting insight that allows us to make an informed decision about another confirmation, 4 of Wands, our partnerships, our unions, our commitments. Another confirmation of the 4 of Swords, that going within and taking a step back, allowing ourselves to rest and contemplate. Two of Swords, 3 of Staves, yeah. So that we can make a decision. Two of Swords is all about making the decision one way or another. And 3 of Staves, 3 of Fire. Now we're going to move on to new sunny horizons. joy, fulfillment, passion. So many of us are making judgment calls about many relationships in our lives, and we're going within to make the decision because we want to move forward. We want to move forward. I'm going to see if there's any other messages from our angels. Two cards. Seven of Pentacles in reverse, the Princess of Cups, the World, and the King of Spades. So many of us, because the Seven of Pentacles is being tired from all the hard work that we've put in to our harvests, the fruit we want to yield. It's a lot of work, a lot of effort, time and energy. It's why she's leaning on her little staff. She's supporting herself, being like, man, if I have to pull one more weed, I don't know what I'm going to do. I think my fingers are going to fall off. Or if I have to, I don't know, but if we're coming out of this energy, maybe because we were doing it alone, that just came through. Maybe for some of us, we've been working really hard, but we're coming out of the energy of being really tired from what we're working on. So, followed by the Princess of Cups, water energy, Cancer, Scorpio, Pisces. It's drinking from our own cups, our own emotional fulfillment, drinking our own intuition. Like, I'm getting that almost, even though it's not so much about listening, but it is about taking in and absorbing. So it's like, maybe in that very watery sense of listening, where it's like taking in intuition, taking in insight, going within. Taking care of ourselves, especially if we have been working hard. To me, this is speaking of a balance. Like, if we've been working really hard and we've been exhausting ourselves, and there is a desperate need for self-care and filling our own cups. Princess of Cups is also the Page of Cups. So for some of us, it may be a new insight, a new intuitive download that we're receiving. Maybe an intuitive download that we need to stop working ourselves to the bone and create some balance. Because the world talks about cycles, endings and beginnings. They could be karmic cycles. It could just be the natural cycles of the earth. We're well into spring now. But not too long ago, we were leaving the coldness of winter. But maybe there's a new cycle starting. And it was followed by the King of Spades. So Aries, Leo, Sagittarius energy, fire energy. very charismatic, very much a go-getter energy, very much the action taker. But there's a maturity to his passion and his excitement. So maybe this is an energy of a new cycle with the fire sign, or it's speaking to embodying this fiery, kingly energy, this charismatic energy in ourselves as we move forward in a new cycle. Because this entire spread has been talking about making decisions to leave behind heaviness, things that weren't yielding emotional fulfillment. And talks about the need to self-nurture and really look at, Eight of Pentacles, Seven of Pentacles, like what we're working on and how much energy it requires from us so that we can begin, so that we can move forward in our fulfillment and begin a new cycle, a happy new cycle, maybe with the fire sign, or maybe just as, an empowered, dynamic force within our own lives. Any other messages for the collective before we move on to the oracle cards? Yes. Okay, so we have leaves coming out. Queen of Swords. This could speak to an air sign, Gemini, Aquarius, Libra. Or it could speak to, I have this air and fire energy. She's discerning. She uses her intellect and her mind. She's receptive. She's observant. She uses her wisdom. She uses her truth. She can be perceived as cold or analytical, but I don't think of her as cold or analytical. I think of her as fair. That's the word that's coming to mind. She doesn't tolerate nonsense. She's a no-nonsense queen. And if we're coming out of conflict and coming out of things that have oppressed us, then we are using our wisdom. We are using our intuition, but also our wisdom, which is directly connected, yet they have different qualities about them. The intuition that surrounds air signs is very different than the intuition that surrounds water signs. There's a lot to do with the upper realms, insights, downloads, anything that's very airy and ethereal that can come through the mind or the mind space. And I see this looking forward with clarity, like I've gained the wisdom. I'm going to use my judgment about these relationships, and I'm going to harness these energies, both of these energies, this air and fire energies, where I'm going to use my wisdom and my insight and my clarity and the sharpness of the mind. And I'm going to use that to fuel my more projective energy, my more masculine energy. It's going to feed my fire. This air feeds fire. You know, you could be building a campfire, and if the logs are too closely stacked and there's not air circulating through, you're never going to get that big roaring flame. So flames need oxygen. The same is if I put a lid on a candle. That flame is going to go out. You cut its oxygen. So to move forward in our passions, there is a wisdom, there is a certain amount of air-like qualities, like the realm of communication, the realm of thought, that has to be very receptive to fuel this passionate energy, this force that yields abundant fruit. And I mean, she's holding the Ace of Swords. He's holding the Ace of Wands. So they have their gifts in hand. And there's a wisdom and a maturity about how they go about using it moving forward. Any other messages for the collective? More contemplation energy. So this is a time to go within. There's a lot of wisdom and downloads. You know, we had the full moon on Tuesday. So we're kind of starting to come out of those energies, but there is a powerful supermoon. It's going to be felt for a little while, and there may be lots of information coming in when we do take that time to contemplate. See if there's any clarifying energies for this contemplation energy. A lot of messages coming in. Some readers call these the arrows of love. So some of you may be receiving a lot of love messages. That's wonderful. I'm happy for you. Otherwise, I see this as a lot of information coming in, emails, text messages, messages over social media. I was like, what is that called? These platforms we're all on? Sometimes. But there's going to be something illuminating about these messages. And it has to do with our foundation. We had the Four of Pentacles come out. And she's holding the Ace of Pentacles. And there's three pentacles before her. As we know, the Three of Pentacles is where we are looking to build a solid foundation. Fours often have this energy of pausing, like Four of Swords, Four of Cups, Four of Wands. Four of Wands speaks to union. And I think this is, how are we going to invest? You know, messages You can invest here, you can invest there, but that's why our discernment's important. Can we get clarity on this Four of Pentacles? 2 cards popped out, flew to the floor. Six of Swords and Eight of Swords. Messages about moving to calmer waters, moving on from situations. Moving on from that Five of Swords energy. Moving away from the battle. There's a lot of movement. We're being called to move forward and getting out of our heads. Eight of Swords. She's not trapped. So getting out of the illusion of feeling trapped, like we can't move on, we can't move forward. We can, we absolutely can. And I feel like these messages and the messages that come in, but also, oh, you know what? The fact that it's in, this just kind of came through. The fact that it is Eight of Spades is highlighting the contemplation card is maybe getting many insights when we go in, when we sit down, when we meditate, when we ground, when we contemplate the decisions. Spirit, for some of us, is just going to be full fire. Downloads, insights, blips of information. How to move forward to calm of waters where that solid foundation will be built. And what we're leaving behind. What no longer serves. Eight of Cups. Moving on from something that we thought we wanted. But it didn't bring us fulfillment. This to me is echoing that Five of Cups energy, like that Five of Cups in reverse, leaving what wasn't emotionally fulfilling. Any other messages for the collective in regards to this spread? Clarity. This is Ace of Swords yet again. So this is really getting crystal clear. The insight is going to be coming in, the knowing, the discernment. So getting grounded, getting real honest with ourselves in what brings us joy, what brings us fulfillment, and what's draining, what we're just working too hard on and isn't yielding the emotional fulfillment, whether it's a relationship or a project. There's decisions to be made and clarity to be had, and there's gifts and joy to be had once we move on and move forward. So there is going to be a gift. There is going to be a new beginning. It's going to be beautiful, but we do have to leave some stuff behind right now. Getting clear. I'm going to pull out our animals. See where animals come forward for the collective messages. For the collective. The animal clarifiers. Dream the world into being. Card 38. Lizard Spirit. So there may be a lot happening in our dream times that give clues and insights to where we're going, where we need to be. Badger spirit popped out 4. Be fierce and bold. I'm getting that this is echoing that King of Wands, King of Staves energy. That bold fire sign energy. Be bold in our truth. Be bold and fearless in our dreaming. Go after what it is we desire, truly. Any other messages for the collective? Grasshopper spirit, card 30. Take a leap of faith. The universe will catch you. You were designed to fly. You were designed to succeed. Who knows, maybe you'll be pleasantly surprised. Maybe you'll be greeted with the universe's warm, open arms. We don't know if we don't fly. And other messages. Oh, lovely. Little mouse spirit, tend to the small things. I'm getting this, tend to you. You know, the little things around you. Dot your I's, cross your T's. Clean up your room, get some water, take a nap. Get some exercise, go for a walk. Send that message. Take that first step. Tend to the little things. I just got a visual of like the pebble that releases. And when the pebble releases, it begins an avalanche. So maybe when you're tending to the little things, and you just send out that little nudge, little did you know that that was going to be the step that was really going to put momentum into making your dreams real. Skunk Spirit 54, know your worth. Know that you're worthy of wish fulfillment. Know that happiness is your birthright. Your fulfillment is your birthright and is for you to claim. So know that you're worthy. Ground yourself in the knowing that you are a beloved child of the divine, in whichever way you relate to it. And in that innate divinity, you are worthy of succeeding. You are worthy of going after what brings you emotional fulfillment in all areas of your life. You're worthy of every good thing. Any other messages for the collective? Let spirit be your guide. Card 32, 5. Let spirit be your guide. Let your insights and intuition guide you. Let the signs and synchronicities guide you. If you have repeating messages, pay attention to them. If a certain someone keeps showing up in your dreams, when you go into meditation, ask why. See what answers come. Let spirit guide you forward. Getting that leap of faith is divinely guided. Any other messages? Yes, Rhino Spirit, I love this. Overcome any obstacles. When you let Spirit be your guide, when you let the divine guide you, when you let love guide you forward, you can and will overcome any obstacles. It's a beautiful energy. I love how they gave this rhino wings when rhinos fly. You know, rhinos are just battle unicorns, right? There was a child that saw a rhino and called it a battle unicorn, and it made my life. So now when I look at rhinos, I'm like, battle unicorns. Totally. Absolutely. Absolutely. I see you. We are strong enough, and the divine will give us the elevation to navigate any obstacle that will come on our path, or any situation that may be perceived as an obstacle. I'm going to jump. A lot of wisdom that we've all been gaining on our journeys, and I think we'll be taking that wisdom and insight with us. We have learned from the past. Yeah. And we're letting spirit guide ourselves forward because we know our worth now. We're going to dream the world into being. We're going to be fierce. We're going to be bold. We'll tend to the small things. Right, we had 2 angel cards. Follow your light, oracles, inner temple, devotion, tune into the portal of your heart. So this is a really good time, especially now since the moon's in Scorpio, and Scorpio is the water sign. There can be many intuitive downloads and insights coming from really deep places. Tune into the portal of your heart. What does your heart say? And it came out with breaking the chain, ancestral patterns, healing, rewriting the future. So I think when we are leaving behind what we're making decisions to say goodbye to, anything that's oppressed us or that held us down, we are healing our family tree, matriarchal and patriarchal lineages. Many traumas are handed through the generations. So when we come into awareness of them, when we learn from the past, when we learn from what doesn't bring us fulfillment, from what's holding us down rather than lifting us up, and we tune into our heart and we use our swords of discernment, we essentially rewrite our family's story We break the chains that had been systemically binding our lineages genetically and emotionally and mentally. You know, sometimes when we're little, we have these fears and we don't know where they come from. Because, like, nothing happened to really provoke it. But when we're children, we're super sensitive and we're super aware. And even though we don't have, like, the terminology to articulate what we're experiencing, we still feel it. We're still affected by it. And a lot of the times, they're inherited. So we're being asked to go within, you know, to elevate, to meditate, to really devote ourselves to our heart and soul. Because as we do that, we are freeing ourselves. And we're not just healing ourselves, we're healing our family tree. And healing the family tree heals generations that haven't come yet. So whether you plan on having children or not, it doesn't even matter. If you have a sibling and they have children, you've done the healing work for them. Or if you have a cousin and they have children, you've done the healing work for them. Because not everyone in our family wakes up to the healing work and the work that is required to heal our family trees and heal our genealogy and our genetic codes. But there's usually at least one person in the family who wakes up. And the universe does that on purpose so that someone's doing the work. And that can seem a little heavy sometimes because you're like, why am I the black sheep in the family? Well, because we were strong enough to be. We were innovative enough to be. We were creative enough to be. We are powerful enough to do the healing work that heals generations so that the future generations don't have to suffer what we suffered or what our parents suffered or what our grandparents suffered. It's how we heal timelines. See if there's any other messages from the angels, then I will jump over to the unicorns. Well, okay, cool. We have share your voice, come out of the cave, persecution, expression. So share your light, share the love, share the wisdom and the insights that the universe has given you. I know many of us have spoken up in the past and there's been retaliatory energy that has come back, and sometimes that'll really affect our throat chakra, and then we'll oppress our voices. Like we'll be like, oh, it's not safe. Well, we're in a different place and space now. And I'm here to affirm that it is safe and that you are supported to share your voice, to share your light. Another affirmation of leap. The universe will catch you. So this is a time, there's 2 leap of faith cards. We're getting a double confirmation of taking leaps of faith because we've been training for this for lifetimes. We are here to shine our light, to come out of the shadows. We've learned enough, we've studied enough, we've done our work. Now it's time to share the work that we've done so that we can uplift and activate others. Because when we share We give permission to others who have gone through similar experiences to start sharing as well. When we heal, we give other people silent permission to heal as well. When we are bold and speak our truths, we give others the silent permission to be bold and speak our truth and take these leaps of faith. And it's beautiful and it's deeply healing, deeply healing. And there's also card coming out, boundaries. Where do you need to establish better boundaries? And this may be boundaries with ourselves, like learning how to tell ourselves no. Like say, and this could be as simple as bedtime, making sure that we're not burning the candle at both ends, going to bed too late or waking up too late. Not getting enough sleep, working into the wee hours of the morning, and not allowing ourselves the time to process and to integrate. This could be boundaries with ourselves where we need to tell ourselves no and to be our own parent, but also with others, whether it's within our families or within friends and social groups. This could be boundaries within social media usage, but anything where we could be overgiving or maybe people are asking a lot from you. Like once you start sharing your light, I feel like this goes back to discernment, where it's like as we're rising and shining, as we're raising our voice, there's going to be a lot of messages coming in with a lot of people who want to work with us, with a lot of people who want to be in our light and to receive from us. But we have to protect our energy and we have to protect our gift, because we have to make sure our cup's full and that we don't give from a partially filled cup. We need to make sure that we are only giving from the overflow. When we give from the overflow, we are still full ourselves. So honoring also that our boundaries may be shifting, A lot of times when we break the chains and of past and do a lot of healing work, what used to be a boundary for us may not be anymore, and what wasn't a boundary maybe now is. So boundaries may be shifting, and it's using our discernment in the process of taking on new adventures and potentially new energies. I'm going to jump over to the Oracle of the Unicorns. What messages do the unicorns have? We have one that is eager. Delight. Count your blessings. Take pleasure in the simple things. Always expect the best. I love this. I love the dandelion. This itty bitty unicorn fairy reminds me of a rocking horse. It's so sweet. So just be grateful for any little thing, whether the sky is blue today or you have the house to yourself for a little while. There's pleasure to be had in the simplest of things, finding a feather on the ground, or walking out into your garden and seeing that the flowers have bloomed overnight. It feeds us, it keeps us positive, it keeps us hopeful, and it keeps us grounded in the life aspect of the cycles that we're all going through. That despite darkness and death, there is always rebirth, transformation, taking on a new form, reincarnation. Any other messages for the collective? Okay. Concise message from the unicorns today. And lastly, we'll go to our Kuan Yin Oracle. Ooh, I got some water on my cards. What message do you have for the collective, for their highest good, for these next few days and the energy of the weekends? "21, Orchid Priestess of Destiny." Destiny is calling, and I'm not surprised with all this leap of faith energy. Turquoise Lotus Mother, card 42. So we have 3, we have 6. We have card 17, Many Hands of the Goddess. 8. To the Celestial Mountain, card 41. 5. Last 3 cards, we have Book of Changes, another 8. Mother Fierce, 18 is a 9, so we do have 3, 6, 9 on the board. 2 8s, actually now 3 8s. Weave the Future Gold is the last card. Card 44. Beautiful, beautiful energies. So just off the bat, before I get in the card, there's this energy of destiny and asking the divine for help, and that the goddess shows up in many ways because this is a time of change and we are protected. We are most definitely protected and guided in these changes. And that we will weave the future gold. So we're going to start with card 21. The Orchid Priestess of Destiny. Of your highest spiritual destiny, calls to you now, beloved. She calls you to your purpose, path, and passion. You are called to rise again and again, to live up into your potential with all its uniqueness and beauty. She will call you always with her sweet flute, playing deep in your heart, blossoms of orchid and chrysanthemum falling from her feet, stirring your heart to quest for your true soul passion. You may have felt different to those around you at different times in your life. This is meant to be, beloved one. You cannot be a pioneer of different consciousness on the planet if you feel completely comfortable in the consciousness that already exists around you. Do you know that this was chosen on purpose so you could be on purpose? Your soul chose to be of service by not fitting in, so that it would remember through things not feeling right, that it was meant to help correct and heal the consciousness on our planet, starting with the self. Once the self was able to correct and align with the consciousness within, so that it matched the love and peace that existed in the heart, it would be easier to help others do the same, even if just by inspiration, by just being you. This is where the Orchid Priestess of Destiny, beloved Kuan Yin, in her devotion to your highest spiritual attainment, calls you forward now. Yes, beloved, your divine destiny is calling you. That means it is time to unplug from mass consciousness at a deeper level than ever before, to really let go of the beliefs and thought forms that do not serve your highest destiny, no matter how unchallengeable they may seem to be at first. It is a time to revise anything inside you that would hold you back from owning your spiritual power and moving ahead in your divine destiny. It is your own divine destiny that calls you forward to do this, beloved. Do not fear. It is just you waiting to meet you in all your spiritual beauty and strength. Embrace the changes, and soon you will enjoy the spiritual reunion at a higher turn of the spiral of your own passionate life of spiritual purpose. The flute and blossoms of the orchid priestess help you in this process now. Prayer to the orchid priestess of destiny. My destiny is in my own heart, and you guide me deeper within myself, beloved orchid priestess, so I cannot miss out on anything that is divinely ordained for me. It will always find me. At peace in my heart, I now receive that which is guiding me into unconditional love, into the fullness of expression of my own divine being. Om Mani Padme Hum. Card 42. The Turquoise Lotus Mother. Turquoise Lotus Mother brings precious healing to you now. Allow yourself to be lifted out of your struggle, beloved one. An old pattern is finally in its death throes, something that weighed heavily on you from your past. This can be one of the most testing times, to allow something to go just when it seems to be so demanding of your time, focus, and intention. Yet don't doubt you have already learned the lessons required of you. And now you are being blessed with an opportunity to receive karmic healing. There are some lessons in our process of spiritual growth that can cut right to the core of our being, that challenge us so deeply that even as we learn the lessons and practice the wisdom, we can still struggle to outgrow the grip of the pattern. No matter how hard we try, we might not feel that we are ever going to be able to completely release the challenge. And no matter how much we grow, there is still a thread of the past that hangs on. We need a spiritual rescue remedy if we are ever to be free of the clutches of this persistent pain. The compassionate and spiritual powerful nature of Ma Kuan Yin as the turquoise lotus mother seeks to bless you with karmic healing so that you may be lifted from your struggles and can simply leave them behind you now. Your soul has learned what it needed from the situation, and it has asked for a divine hand up so that it might continue on its divine path of growth without unnecessary karmic weight pulling it down. Listen to your guidance now. Notice if you feel inspired to visit a healer. Listen repeatedly to a particularly healing song or healing music. Go to a class or meditate at home at a particular time or just more often. These are attempts by the Divine Mother to reach you through available channels. Divine blessings of karmic healing can flow from the spiritual world directly to your soul, but oftentimes they are more effective when coming through a human channel of a high vibrational level directly into your energy field on the physical plane. Be as open as you can to the guidance, to allow the divine karmic healing of Turquoise Lotus Mother to reach you. Her turquoise nature cleanses and protects your energy field, and her lotus heart shines through your own heart, bringing you peace. The Divine Mother within her simply wishes to nurture you into greater spiritual freedom. This oracle also indicates that if you have been working with crystals, turquoise in particular, to continue to do so, as it is empowering for you and is helping you to heal, whether you are completely conscious of this as of yet or not. Prayer to the Turquoise Lotus Mother. Beloved Kuan Yin, Turquoise Lotus Mother, I now let go of any unhelpful pride or restrictive beliefs that would stop me from receiving the divine grace of karmic healing through you now. I ask that my soul be blessed and that I receive the full bestowal of grace to which I am spiritually entitled with gratitude and love. I open my heart to you now. Om Mane Padme Hum. The Many Hands of the Goddess, card 17. The Goddess Kuan Yin brings blessings to multiple projects in many different parts of your life and consciousness, beloved. She is not limited to one task at a time. Do not be afraid to surrender into her guiding wisdom and creative genius now, for there is much that you can accomplish together and she wants to assist you. We often create well when focusing on one project at a time, seeing it through to completion, then tending to the next one. Sometimes our attention might be stretched across numerous projects, especially if you have a lot of natural creative energy at your disposal. You may worry that you are being stretched beyond your capacity to be productive, that your creative energy is being dissipated by flipping from one project to another, and that you will not complete anything. The guidance from Goddess Kuan Yin is to release your worries and intentions to her and to let her guide you. When you feel strongly to work on a particular project, perhaps to focus on it for a time, do so. When you feel to step back from it and rest, do so. In the rest, you will replenish, gain new perspective, and return to your creative work more productive. It is an essential part of the process. Trust that she is uplifting, guiding, and instructing you through your own intuition, so that your creative projects and creative desires will manifest with the highest wisdom and in the best order and timing. You don't have to worry about having too many logs on the fire. You just need to let Kuan Yin guide you and follow her impulses faithfully. Do not be afraid to surrender projects to her, even if they seem to be taken out of your hands for a time. When the time is right, they will come back to you. perhaps in a revised form that is more aligned with your divine essence. With the many hands of the goddess assisting you through your trusting heart, you will accomplish more than you thought possible, assisted by the universe in ways seen and unseen. A prayer to the many hands of the goddess. Hands that heal and bless. Hands that lift and strengthen. Hands that guide and hands that protect. Om Kuan Yin, many-armed Mother of mercy and compassion, I receive your blessings and assistance now. For my highest good, so be it. Om Mani Padme Hum. (41) To the Celestial Mountain. There are times when divine energy is needed to help us achieving our spiritual goals. When you do not feel completely in control of your destiny, the divine is usually gifting you with an opportunity to reach for assistance and to evoke divine power, to call to the celestial mountain so that you might be gifted with far superior outcome. Your permission to beings that love you unconditionally to offer you help is an expression of spiritual empowerment. You empower those forces to come to your aid and to help you manifest your life purpose and destiny. You are being asked to empower the divine to help you, to call to the celestial mountain within your own heart, to reach out and allow the divine to assist you on your current life unfoldment. We live in a free will universe, and no matter how much you are loved, in fact, because you are so loved and respected, no being will intervene for you without your permission. Do not believe that asking for help means that you will grow weak or dependent and not grow spiritually. You are doing this to grow in your own mastery at a soul level, not to hand over your life and not take personal and spiritual responsibility for it anymore. Asking for spiritual assistance helps you grow in trust, wisdom, and understanding of the nature of the universe and how it operates. Learning to ask for and receive divine assistance helps us to learn the art of surrender so that we can merge with greater spiritual forces than our own individual selves. Something wonderful begins to happen. You will discover that your divine self is powerful living expression of the source of the universe. You have within you the power, love, and sustenance of the source of life itself. When we call to the celestial mountain, we are remembering that we are divine in our own heart. We gain through this remembrance, and we can help others remember too. So the more you choose to spiritually empower the divine to assist you, the stronger and more conscious your relationship with beings of light becomes. And the more you begin to realize the similarities that exist between your own divine nature and these beings. In other words, in keeping good spiritual company, you begin to realize your true nature. Make sure that you empower those beings who genuinely love you unconditionally. When asking for help, always say 3 times, I call on those beings who love me unconditionally Then say, I thank you for your clear guidance and assistance on this matter, so that I may grow in my own spiritual mastery with peace, love, and joy of my own free will. So be it. 3 times. A prayer to the celestial mountain. Beloved Kuan Yin, in the ashram of your celestial mountain, hear me. Please help me to let go of my difficulties in receiving help, in any feelings of worthlessness or distrust that prevent me from being guided, moved, and placed into positions of divine assistance for my greatest good. Help me feel worthy of help, and help me receive that help which comes to me in unconditional love now. Om Mani Padme Hum. The Book of Changes. Just like a beautiful but unusual melody, the divine plan is unfolding through your life, although it isn't always predictable. Kuan Yin is guiding you in the right direction, even if you don't fully understand what is happening in your life right now. Allow Kuan Yin to bless you with trust in the unfoldment of your own divine path. The Book of Changes is always at play, helping us find our way. You are just taking a smarter route to your destination. Sometimes situations or circumstances occur that seem to take us away from our desired goal, or cause us to question whether we need to take matters into our own hands to achieve our desired manifestation. Even if we do not understand why something is happening the way that it is right now, with patience and experience, the wisdom and helpfulness of a situation is often revealed, and we can marvel at how we were assisted through the workings of a higher intelligence that we did not understand at the time. Just like an experienced guide on a mountaintop, Kuan Yin has traversed the spiritual path over many lifetimes to arrive at her enlightened and compassionate state. She is very wise, and she is blessing you with her grace, even if that grace seems to be a dark cloud, a delay, an unexpected disappointment, or even a wonderful new opportunity in a different direction. She can help you avoid pitfalls that you do not need to encounter if you trust in her guidance. She can read the Book of Changes and understand the divine path unfolding through you to help lift you onto your divine path with the least struggle. You are being asked to trust and allow the circumstances in your life to unfold right now. If there are delays, don't force an issue. Let it settle and sort itself out with as little interference by you as possible. You do not have to let anyone take advantage of you, nor do you have to prevent yourself from expressing your truths and feelings about what is happening. However, you are being guided to trust that no matter what appears to be the case right now, this detour or unexpected situation is a blessing from the divine plan, confirmed by Kuan Yin, assisting you in avoiding unnecessary problems later on as she corrects your life path and helps you move forward with greater grace on your divine path now. A prayer to the Book of Changes. Beloved Kuan Yin, thank you for your blessings of divine grace and assistance through my life as I allow the divine plan, the Book of Changes, with all of its wisdom to flow with trust and faith. I now pray for the courage to trust in your goodness and assistance, to see the beauty and perfection of all life situations, so that I may benefit from it greatly now. Thank you for your help. Om Shanti. May I feel your peace in my heart now. Om Shanti. The last two messages. Mother Fierce is your guardian. Nothing can penetrate the passionate fire of her fearless love. Your safety is assured, beloved, in the midst of any apparent challenge or threat, no matter how frightening it may seem, and no matter how insecure you might feel about taking a step on your spiritual path into more power. Know that you are safe, you are protected, you are loved. Beloved, you have been growing spiritually, and sometimes this evokes responses from others. The responses may be loving and affirming, encouraging and validating. Many will choose to be inspired by your growth. Sometimes, however, lower vibrational responses will arise, which may be fearful, insecure, jealous, or angry. These responses arise so that they can be healed. The healing for you is how you choose to allow yourself to shine and not be diminished by the healing process of another. For the other, their healing is their journey, and you have offered them a great service. Know that you do not need to be afraid, nor do you need to hold yourself back out of fear. There is nothing that escapes the notice of the beloved Mother Kuan Yin. As a divine mother of fierce compassion and protection, she sees all, she knows all, she blesses all. She can lift you beyond fear and threat, beloved, into a place of unity and divine love that secures you against any would-be threats and delivers you into peace. For you to benefit the most from her protection, you need to trust in her light and realize that she is shining through your own inner light, that she and you are one in truth. From this perspective, you can realize that you always have the right to say no to any energy of fear or doubt that seeks to cause you harm. Harm comes from a lower vibration. It does not need to be feared, but it does need to be responded to with assertiveness and compassion. Kuan Yin now helps you to retain your inner peace in the face of any lower vibrational energy, so that you can be kind and accepting of the divine essence in all existence, no matter how heavily veiled the divinity appears to be, and yet also remain assertive that only unconditionally loving vibrations are welcome in your energy field. Boundaries, energetic boundaries. So the prayer for the fierce mother. Take me into your heart, beloved Kuan Yin, fierce with love, where the pure fire of peace burns eternally. May I be blessed with peace and protection now and always. May I feel the loving protection of your consciousness within my own heart. Om Shanti, beloved. Om Mane Padme Hum. Last card, last message. Card 44. at 4444 right across the board. Something good is coming your way. Kuan Yin urges you to weave your future into the present moment, to call in and draw to you the opportunities, teachings, circumstances, and synchronicities awaiting you. What will empower your soul to live its divine destiny with greater abundance, bliss, and creative fulfillment? Do you know how much the divine wishes to support and assist you in living your heart's truth in this lifetime? Do you know? Kuan Yin, with grace and compassion, wishes to help you ascend to the next level of your life expression, so that your soul light may shine more brightly on the planet and help you and other beings to live with more heart and less fear. You can choose to live a life infused with the golden energy of peace, prosperity, joy, and creativity. A future so golden, it is being woven into your present moment now, like a tapestry, with the choices and actions that you make in this moment. You call into being the divine golden tapestry of future bliss. Clever you. Kuan Yin is aware that there are opportunities and assistance waiting for you in your future embodiment. She wishes to assist you in drawing those future gifts into the present moment where they can be of most use to you. This oracle indicates that there is something special waiting in the wings for you, and if you wish to do so, you can receive healing and elevate your vibration so that you are able to receive it more readily. If you have been holding a secret wish in your heart, perhaps to publish a book, to be a healer, to teach or to write or sing, to attract a loving soulmate partnership, or to spiritually awaken at a deeper level, take a moment to feel what it would be like for that heartfelt wish to be manifest right now. Can you imagine the joy of it? Can you feel the joy of it? Can you also allow for that joy to be such a normal, ordinary occurrence that it could be a part of your life right now? This is how you begin to weave the manifestation into this moment. Be bold, dream big, and imagine what it would feel like to live like your dreams. Can you begin to cultivate those feelings now, irrespective of whether you see the manifestation in the physical form or not yet? Whether you see the manifestation in the physical form or not as yet. Sitting with joy in your heart, whether it relates to something specific or not, is magnetic to the good that the universe wishes to deliver to you. It is like switching your inner light on a higher voltage so that special opportunities, perfect for you, I almost said specific, perfect for you, can find their way to you now more swiftly. And if your great good comes in unexpected form but still feels wonderful, accept it. Your future golden will come into your life in the most beautiful ways. And usually, if it is not exactly as we imagined it, it is even more perfect for us. A prayer to weave the future golden. Beloved Kuan Yin, thank you for being my spiritual witness. Beyond time, space, and dimension, there is only love, truth, bliss, and joy. And I now choose to dip into the waters of my own divine essence, to call into the present moment the good that has vested for me spiritually. I ask for the grace, wisdom, and skill needed to put this future good into perfect expression in the present moment. May I weave my future golden into this present moment. Thank you. Om Mani Padme Hum. The divine has gifts for us. Yes, things are changing. Yes, we are taking leaps of faith. But it is beautiful and good, and our angels are here to assist us. All we have to do is use our free will to call it in and to allow things to be made manifest in our present moment. I hope these messages have been insightful, deeply healing and supportive, loving and nurturing and affirming for you, for all of you. I hope wherever you are in the world, blessings of love, deep fulfillment of the soul and heart are made manifest in your lives. I hope you and your loved ones are happy and healthy. And I wish you all the highest vibration of love, peace, and success. May you leave your future golden. And until we chat again, have a beautiful, blissful, bountiful day. And I'll see you tomorrow for class. Bye-bye.